The Draconian Armada vanished on Earth, and the galaxy can't explain it. Part 1. First Contact Captain Diane Miller looked at the radar screen and felt her heart stop. Hundreds of dots appeared at the edge of the solar system, moving fast toward Earth. She blinked twice, hoping it was a mistake. "Sir, you need to see this," she called to Admiral Gregory Hayes, who stood nearby in Earth Defense Station Alpha. The Admiral walked over quickly. His face went pale as he looked at the screen. "How many?" he asked in a low voice. "Over 300 ships, sir. Moving in formation. No friendly codes." The Admiral picked up the red phone. This was the call no leader of Earth's defenses ever wanted to make. "Mr. President, this is Admiral Hayes. We have a code black situation. I repeat, code black. Alien fleet approaching. Size estimates suggest an invasion force. Around the world, military bases went on high alert. Fighter pilots ran to their ships, missile defense systems powered up. But deep down everyone knew the truth. Earth had only 50 defense ships. If this was an attack, they stood little chance." Dr. Alan Wright hurried into the command center. As Earth's top xenobiologist, he had prepared for first contact his whole life. But not like this. Not with what looked like an armada. "What do we know about them?" he asked, pushing his glasses up his nose. Captain Miller showed him the scans. Ships match no known design. Energy readings are off the charts. They're slowing now, taking position around Mars' orbit. "Are they transmitting anything?" As if answering his question, every screen in the command center suddenly flickered. A face appeared. At least they thought it was a face. The being had tough, reptilian skin with ridges where eyebrows would be on a human. Its eyes were yellow, with vertical pupils. When it opened its mouth, they saw rows of sharp teeth. "People of Earth," the creature spoke in perfect English. "I am Supreme Overlord Kratax of the Draconian Empire. Your planet is now under our control. You have 72 hours to surrender all governments to Draconian rule. Resistance will result in planetary bombardment." The screen went black. The room stayed silent for 10 long seconds. "How did they speak English?" someone finally asked. "Universal translator," Dr. Wright said. "Any advanced civilization would have one. But that's not important right now. Did you hear what he said?" 72 hours. Admiral Hayes grabbed a microphone. "All stations, this is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. First contact protocol is now in effect." Sergeant Paul Davis watched the message replay on his phone. He stood with his special operations team at Fort Benning, Georgia. They had been training for everything from terrorism to natural disasters. Never aliens. "Think our bullets will even work on them?" asked one of his men. "We'll find out," Davis said grimly. "Grab your gear. I bet we're moving out soon." Back at Defense Station Alpha, Captain Miller noticed something strange on her monitor. "Dr. Wright, look at these energy readings from their flagship." The scientist studied the display. "That's odd. The energy signature is pulsing, almost like it's unstable. Is that normal for a spaceship?" "I have no idea what's normal for alien technology, but it doesn't seem efficient. And look, the pulse pattern changes when they communicate." In the White House Situation Room, the president sat with his advisors. Their faces showed the weight of the moment. "How bad is it, Admiral?" the president asked over video link. "Sir, based on their weapon signatures, a single one of their ships could destroy a major city. They have over 300. The room fell silent. "And what are our options?" "We can try to talk. Dr. Wright is analyzing their communications now. But honestly, sir, our military options are limited. We're outgunned by at least 1,000 to 1. The president nodded slowly. "Then we need to buy time. Send a message, saying we're considering their demands and request a meeting." In his lab, Dr. Wright worked quickly with his team. "These energy readings don't make sense. It's almost like their ships are fighting against some kind of interference." His assistant looked up from her computer. "From what? We're not jamming them." "I don't know. But look at these patterns. When their ships moved closer to Earth, the energy fluctuations increased. On the main Draconian ship, Supreme Overlord Kratax received troubling news." "What do you mean we lost contact with the scout ship?" he growled at his officer. It entered Earth's atmosphere 13 minutes ago, Supreme One. All signals stopped. No distress call. Krytax slammed his clawed hand on the arm of his command chair. Send another, with backup this time. Captain Miller tracked the movement of 2 more alien ships breaking from the main fleet. They're entering atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean, she reported. Everyone watched the radar as the ships descended. Then, without warning, both signals flickered and disappeared. Did we lose radar contact? Admiral Hayes demanded. The radar operator shook her head. No, sir. All systems functioning normally. The ships just vanished. In his lab, Dr. Wright's equipment suddenly spiked. That's impossible, he whispered, checking the readings again. On his screen, Earth's magnetic field showed a brief but powerful surge exactly where the ships had been. Admiral Hayes received an urgent call from NASA's Deep Space Tracking Station. Sir, we're picking up communications from the Draconian fleet. They sound confused, maybe even panicked. The Admiral looked at Captain Miller. What the hell is happening? I don't know, sir, but whatever it is, it might be our only chance. The Draconian Supreme Overlord stared at the empty spots on his tactical display where 3 ships should be. Scan again, he ordered. We have, Supreme One, multiple times. The ships are simply gone. That's impossible. Nothing can defeat Draconian technology. His science officer approached nervously. Supreme One, our records show something strange about this planet. In our ancient texts, Earth's sector was marked with warning symbols. Warnings of what? The texts don't say. Just that this region should be avoided. Krytax growled. Superstitious nonsense, ready the main fleet. We will show these humans our true power. On Earth, governments worldwide prepared for the worst. People prayed, said goodbyes, or rioted in the streets. But in Defense Station Alpha, Dr. Wright made a discovery. Admiral, there's something unique about Earth's electromagnetic field. When it interacts with their technology, it creates a quantum disturbance. I think our planet is naturally hostile to their ships. Are you saying Earth itself is fighting back? Before Wright could answer, Captain Miller called out. Sir, the entire Draconian fleet is mobilizing. They're taking up attack positions. The Admiral looked at the radar screen where hundreds of enemy ships formed into attack groups. God help us all, he whispered. But as they watched, something amazing happened. The first wave of ships entered Earth's upper atmosphere and began to flicker on radar, just like the scout ships had. Sir, Captain Miller said, her voice filled with wonder, I think they're vanishing too. The Draconian Armada vanished on Earth, and the galaxy can't explain it. Part 2. The Hidden Advantage. Dr. Nancy Johnson rushed through the underground lab with papers flying from her arms. The news about the Draconian ships vanishing had reached her team, and she knew their work might be the key to understanding why. Turn on the field generators, she called to her team. I want to see the Earth's electromagnetic readings, right now. The massive screen lit up, showing a swirling map of Earth's magnetic field. Spots of bright color pulsed where the alien ships had disappeared. It's just as I thought, she said, pointing to the patterns. Earth's field is reacting to their technology. It's like our planet has an immune system against their ships. In the Pentagon War Room, Lieutenant Eric Martinez studied ancient star charts. As an intelligence officer, he had access to files most people never saw. Sir, he said to General Frank Murphy, I found something interesting. According to these old records, Earth has been marked as a no-go zone by at least 3 alien civilizations we've secretly contacted over the years. The general raised his eyebrows. And nobody thought to mention this when a hostile alien fleet showed up? These files were buried deep, sir. It seems nobody made the connection until now. General Murphy looked at the battle plans on his desk. His job was to prepare for a ground invasion, but something wasn't adding up. If Earth is so dangerous to them, why attack us at all? He wondered. The answer came from an unlikely source. Olivia Parker, a civilian engineer who specialized in ancient architecture, had been called in to consult about strange markings found in caves worldwide. These patterns match the flight formations of the Draconian ships, she explained, showing side-by-side images. The same markings appear in caves from South America to Asia, dating back 10,000 years. Someone knew they would come, on the Draconian. Flagship Supreme Overlord Kratax watched in rage as another group of ships vanished upon entering Earth's atmosphere. "What is happening?" he roared, smashing a control panel with his fist. His science officer trembled. "Supreme One, we've detected unusual energy patterns around the planet. They seem to interact with our drive systems. Can we shield against it?" "We're trying, but the energy is unlike anything in our records. It seems to change when we try to counter it." Kratax narrowed his yellow eyes. "Send ground troops. Whatever this energy is, it can't affect our warriors once they're on the surface." Back at Defense Station Alpha, Admiral Hayes received news of Dr. Johnson's discovery. She says her team has been working on a defense system that amplifies Earth's natural electromagnetic field, Captain Miller explained. "It was originally designed to protect against solar flares, but it might work against the Draconian ships, too. How long until it's ready?" "That's the thing, sir. She thinks we don't need to finish it. The planet is already defending itself, but her system could potentially strengthen the effect." Dr. Wright burst into the room. "Admiral, we're picking up transport signatures. They're sending ground troops." The first Draconian landing party touched down in the desert near Roswell, New Mexico. 6 reptilian soldiers emerged from their pod, scanning the area with advanced weapons. "Area secure," the lead soldier reported back to the fleet. "No sign of the energy that affected our ships. Beginning reconnaissance." But as they moved away from their landing pod, strange things began to happen. Their communication devices flickered. Their weapon systems reset randomly. "Something is interfering with our tech," one soldier said nervously. The lead soldier looked around the empty desert. "Stay alert. This planet is clearly not what we expected." Within an hour, all contact with the landing party was lost. A second team sent to investigate found nothing but footprints that ended suddenly in the sand, as if the soldiers had simply vanished mid-step. In a secure facility in Colorado, Dr. Vincent Coleman studied geological data from around the world. "Earth's magnetic field has always been unusual," he explained to military officials. "It's stronger than it should be for a planet this size, and it fluctuates in patterns that don't make scientific sense." He pointed to a map showing hot spots of strange activity. The Bermuda Triangle, parts of the Gobi Desert, the South Atlantic, Anomaly. These are all places where our own electronics act up, and now they're the exact spots where Draconian ships are disappearing. Carlos Reyes hadn't planned to be in the middle of an alien invasion. He was just a truck driver passing through Arizona when he saw the Draconian dropship hover above the highway. He grabbed his phone and started recording. At first, the ship looked solid and menacing. Then it started to shimmer like heat waves rising from hot pavement. Parts of it became transparent, then solid again. Then, in a flash that made Carlos drop his phone, the entire ship simply wasn't there anymore. The video went viral within minutes. In research labs across the world, scientists worked frantically to understand what was happening. Dr. Johnson's team made a breakthrough when they found they could predict where ships would vanish based on fluctuations in Earth's field. "We're not creating a weapon," she realized. "We're just amplifying something that's been here all along." Admiral Hayes called an emergency meeting with world leaders. "The good news is that the Draconians can't seem to establish a foothold on Earth," he explained. "The bad news is they still have over 200 ships in orbit and they're getting desperate." On the main view screen, they could see the Draconian fleet regrouping. The ships were staying in higher orbit now, avoiding the atmosphere where so many had vanished. Lieutenant Martinez shared his latest intelligence. "We've intercepted their communications. They're confused and frightened. Apparently their species has genetic memory, and somewhere deep in their DNA is a warning about Earth. A warning they clearly ignored," Captain Miller added. Dr. Wright studied the readings from the vanished ships. "I think I understand part of what's happening. When their technology interacts with Earth's field, it creates a dimensional shift. They're not being destroyed, they're being moved somewhere else." The president looked skeptical. "You're saying they're being sent to another dimension?" "Something like that. The physics are complex, but essentially, Their technology and Earth's field are incompatible at a quantum level. Outside the meeting room, Chief Engineer Sam Thompson worked with his team to prepare Earth's defenses. Even if the planet had some natural protection, they needed to be ready if the Draconians found a way around it. Supreme Overlord Kratax was not ready to give up. He had conquered 12 worlds before this one. He would not be defeated by an invisible energy field. "Prepare the planetary bombardment," he ordered. "If we can't land, we'll destroy them from orbit." But as his weapons officers attempted to lock targets on Earth's surface, their systems went haywire. Targeting computers crashed. Power systems fluctuated. "Supreme One," his second-in-command said quietly, "perhaps we should withdraw. This planet is different." Kratax snarled and struck the officer down. "The Draconian Empire does not retreat. Prepare all ships for a full-scale attack. We will overcome whatever primitive defense this world has." As the remaining Draconian fleet positioned for their final assault, Earth's defenders watched and waited. Whatever strange power protected their planet, they hoped it would be enough for what was coming. The Draconian Armada vanished on Earth, and the galaxy can't explain it. 3. Vanishing Act. Begins. Chief Engineer Sam Thompson wiped sweat from his forehead as he adjusted the controls on Dr. Johnson's experimental defense system. The massive array of equipment hummed with power, sending pulses into Earth's natural electromagnetic field. "Is it working?" Dr. Johnson asked, looking over his shoulder at the readings. "I think so," Sam replied. "The field strength is up by 20% in the test area, but I don't understand why we're amplifying something that already seems to be protecting us." Dr. Johnson pointed to a map on the wall. Red dots showed where Draconian ships had vanished so far. The effect isn't consistent everywhere. Some areas have stronger natural protection than others. We need to create a shield that covers the whole planet equally. Outside in the Arizona desert, Commander Lisa Blackwood and her Special Forces team moved silently through the night. They had been sent to investigate the crash site of a Draconian scout ship that hadn't completely vanished. "Stay alert," she whispered into her radio. "We don't know if any of them survived." The crashed ship looked like a massive metal insect half buried in sand. Parts of it seemed transparent, like it was fading in and out of reality. One of her soldiers pointed ahead. Movement at the rear section. The team crept forward, weapons ready. From the wreckage, a wounded Draconian soldier emerged. It was taller than a human, with tough scaled skin and eyes that glowed yellow in the darkness. "Hold fire," Commander Blackwood ordered. This was the first alien they had seen up close. The creature looked at them and collapsed. 20 miles away, Carlos Reyes was driving his truck again when he saw another Draconian ship. This one was larger, hovering low over the desert. He pulled over and started recording with his phone. "This is crazy," he muttered as he filmed. The ship pulsed with energy surrounded by a strange glow. Then it began to fade, becoming transparent like a ghost. In less than a minute, it was gone completely. Carlos's hands shook as he uploaded the video. "The world needs to see this," he said to himself. In his lab at the geology department, Dr. Vincent Coleman studied soil samples from sites where Draconian ships had disappeared. "There's something unusual about the mineral content," he told his assistant. "These crystals show signs of quantum resonance. It's like they're in tune with Earth's magnetic field." He looked up at a world map marked with the locations of these special minerals. "They're everywhere but concentrated in certain spots, and look, they match the places where ships are vanishing most frequently." On the Draconian flagship, Supreme Overlord Kratax received more bad news. "Another 10 ships lost, Supreme One," his officer reported nervously. "And the ground forces we sent to their major cities never arrived at their targets." Kratax smashed a control panel with his fist. "How is this possible? We have conquered 12 worlds. What makes this mudball different?" The captured Draconian soldier lay on a medical table in a secure facility. Dr. Wright studied the readings from the scanners with fascination. "Its brain structure is incredible," he told Commander Blackwood. "The temporal lobe contains structures we've never seen before, almost like a built-in warning system." "Can you communicate with it?" she asked. "I think so. It understands our Language, watch this. Dr. Wright turned to the alien. Why did your people attack Earth? The Draconian's eyes blinked slowly. Resources, slaves, new territory, standard conquest. Did you know Earth was dangerous to your kind? The creature shifted uncomfortably. Ancient warnings, forbidden zone, leaders ignored, said it was superstition. What happens to your ships when they vanish? The Draconian's eyes widened with fear. The between place, not here, not gone, trapped forever. Dr. Johnson's team made a breakthrough that evening. Sam Thompson called her to the main lab where their equipment was going crazy. Look at this, he said, pointing to a monitor. When we activate our field amplifier, the effect doesn't just get stronger, it spreads. On the screen, waves of energy pulsed outward from their facility, strengthening Earth's natural field as they went. If we set up just 10 of these around the world, Sam continued, we could create a complete shield. Dr. Johnson started making calls immediately. The Draconian fleet launched its promised all-out attack the next morning. Hundreds of ships descended toward Earth's major cities. Military bases worldwide braced for bombardment. People huddled in shelters, praying for survival. But something amazing happened. As the first wave of ships entered the upper atmosphere, they began to flicker and fade. Some tried to turn back, engines glowing with desperate power. It was too late. Ship after ship vanished, leaving nothing behind. In the command center, Admiral Hayes watched in awe. What's happening to them? He asked Dr. Wright. I think I understand. Now, the scientist replied. Earth exists in a slightly different dimensional frequency than most of the galaxy. These aliens evolved in a different quantum harmony. When their technology interacts with our planet's unique field, it creates a discord that pushes them into a parallel dimension. You're saying Earth naturally sends them somewhere else? Exactly. And Dr. Johnson's amplifiers are making the effect stronger and more consistent. On the remaining Draconian ships, panic spread. More than half the fleet was gone now. Some ships tried to flee back to deep space, but even that wasn't working. The effect seemed to reach farther now, catching ships, before they could escape. Supreme Overlord Kratax faced a decision he had never imagined: surrender or annihilation. His mighty empire, which had destroyed countless civilizations, was being defeated by an invisible force they couldn't fight. Prepare my personal shuttle, he ordered. I will speak to these humans myself. But as his shuttle descended toward Earth, it too began to flicker and fade. The Supreme Overlord's roar of rage was cut short as he vanished like his ships. Around the world, people emerged from shelters to see empty skies. The draconian threat that had loomed so large was simply gone. In the days that followed, scientists from every country worked to understand what had happened. Dr. Coleman's team found more of the strange minerals in Earth's crust. These crystals are like natural amplifiers for Earth's dimensional frequency, he explained to world leaders. They've been here since the planet formed. It's like Earth was designed to be protected. Commander Blackwood's team learned more from the captured Draconian before it too faded away. It said there were legends about Earth throughout the galaxy, she reported. Stories about ships that went there and never returned. Most species avoided our solar system entirely. Admiral Hayes looked at the data from the vanished fleet. So, what happens now? Are we safe or will others come? Dr. Wright considered the question. The Draconians were the greatest military power in our region of space. Now that they've been defeated, I think others will pay attention. The question is whether they'll fear us or want to understand our secret. The answer came sooner than anyone expected. 3 days after the Draconian fleet vanished, a single small ship appeared at the edge of the solar system. It made no aggressive moves. Instead, it broadcast a simple message in multiple languages. People of Earth, we come, in peace and with great respect. May we approach with caution to establish diplomatic relations. A new chapter in human history was beginning. The Draconian Armada vanished on Earth, and the galaxy can't explain it, Part 4. Planetary secret professor Betty White brushed dust from the ancient stone tablet. For 3 days straight, she had been working in this remote cave in southern Chile. Ever since satellite scans detected unusual energy readings, similar to those present during the draconian disappearances. "Dr. Rodriguez," she called to her colleague, "you need to see this." Dr. Susan Rodriguez, a theoretical physicist who had been analyzing the energy patterns, hurried over. The stone tablet showed carvings of what looked like star maps, with Earth clearly marked at the center. Around it were symbols neither woman recognized. "This can't be natural," Dr. Rodriguez whispered. "These carvings are at least 15,000 years old, long before humans had any concept of stars as distant suns." Professor White nodded. "And look at these markings around Earth. They match the energy pattern your team recorded when the draconian ships vanished." In Washington, D.C., Secretary William Clark rushed from one emergency meeting to another. As the government official in charge of the global crisis response, he had barely slept since the alien threat began. "What's our current status?" he asked his aide as they hurried down a hallway. "Most of the draconian fleet has vanished. Our defense systems report fewer than 20 ships remaining in high orbit. They appear to be keeping their distance from Earth." Secretary Clark entered the situation room where world leaders waited. On video screens. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "I believe the immediate threat has passed. The question now is what happens next." The president spoke up. "Have we established communication with the new ship that arrived?" "Yes, sir. They identify themselves as the Galactic Diplomatic Corps. Unlike the Draconians, their ship seems unaffected by Earth's field. They're requesting permission to send a small landing party." Major Kevin Scott checked his fighter jet one last time before takeoff. As one of Earth's top pilots, he had been assigned to escort the diplomatic shuttle from the new alien ship. "Control, this is Eagle 1. Ready for takeoff." "Eagle 1, you are cleared for escort mission. Be advised we have no idea what to expect. Up there." "Copy that, I'll keep my eyes open." Major Scott's fighter roared into the sky, climbing quickly through the clouds. At 50,000 feet, he leveled off and waited for the alien shuttle. Minutes later, a sleek silver craft appeared, descending slowly from above. "Eagle 1 to control. I have visual on the visitor, it's—" He paused, watching in amazement as the shuttle changed color to match the blue sky around it. "It's unlike anything I've ever seen." As Major Scott escorted the alien shuttle toward the designated landing zone, something caught his eye. In the distance, 3 draconian warships suddenly appeared, weapons powered up. "Control, we have hostile contact," he shouted, banking his fighter toward the threat. But before he could engage, the draconian ships began to shimmer and fade, just like the others before them. Within seconds, they were gone. "Control," Major Scott reported, his voice shaky with awe. "The draconians just disappeared right in front of me. All 3 ships just gone." In the underground lab, Dr. Rodriguez worked frantically with her team. The energy readings were off the charts. "The effect is getting stronger," she told Secretary Clark over video. "Each time a draconian ship vanishes, the field seems to learn and adapt." "Learn? Are you saying Earth's field is intelligent?" Clark asked. "Not exactly. But it's not just a natural phenomenon either. The patterns are too precise." She pulled up images from Professor White's excavation. "These ancient carvings suggest Earth was somehow engineered to have these properties." Secretary Clark looked skeptical. "You're saying someone designed our planet as a trap for certain aliens?" "Or as a defense system," Dr. Rodriguez replied. "And based on these readings, I think we're only seeing the beginning of what it can do." The alien diplomatic shuttle landed at a remote airbase in Nevada. Surrounded by heavy security, a door opened in its side. The being that emerged looked almost human except for its silvery skin and eyes with vertical pupils. "Greetings," it said in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Jen of the Galactic Council. We come with urgent information about what has happened here." Admiral Hayes stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth, Ambassador. I'm Admiral Hayes of the United Earth Defense Force." The alien bowed slightly. "Your world has just defeated the most feared military power in our sector of the galaxy. The Draconian Empire has conquered 12 worlds and destroyed 7 others. Yet your planet defeated them without firing a shot." "We don't fully understand how," Admiral Hayes admitted. "But we do," the ambassador replied. "Your Earth is what we call a nexus world, a planet that exists at the intersection of dimensional planes. In her lab, Professor White made another discovery. Beneath the stone tablet was a hidden chamber. Inside, they found metallic objects of clearly artificial design. These can't be human-made, she told her team. Not from 15,000 years ago. One object looked like a control panel with symbols that matched those on the tablet. When she touched it, it lit up with a soft blue glow. "Get Dr. Rodriguez down here now," she ordered, "and tell Secretary Clark we may have found the source of Earth's defense system." Dr. Rodriguez arrived hours later. Together they examined the ancient technology. "It's still working after all this time," Dr. Rodriguez said in amazement. "And look at these symbols, they match the energy pattern exactly." Professor White nodded. "I think Earth was home to an advanced civilization long before humans evolved. They must have built this system to protect the planet." But protect it from what? Dr. Rodriguez wondered. The answer came from Ambassador Jen during a meeting with Earth's leaders. "The Draconians were not the first hostile species in our galaxy," the ambassador explained. "Long ago there were wars that spanned dimensions, not just space. The ancient ones created safe havens, planets that existed slightly out of phase with normal space. And Earth is one of these safe havens?" Secretary Clark asked. "Not just any safe haven. Based on our records, Earth may be the last functioning Nexus world in existence. The others were destroyed, or their systems failed over millions of years." "So what happened to the Draconians?" Admiral Hayes asked. "Where did they go?" "Ambassador," Jen's expression grew grave. "They are trapped in what we call the between, a buffer dimension that separates realities. They can see your world but cannot interact with it. Their technology is incompatible with your planet's quantum frequency." Major Scott, who had joined the meeting after his escort mission, asked the question everyone was thinking. "Will they ever get out?" "Not without help," the ambassador replied, "and not without technology far beyond their capability." As the implications sank in, Earth's leaders realized their planet had just gained an unexpected position of power in galactic politics. Secretary Clark looked at Admiral Hayes. "So what do we do now?" Before the admiral could answer, an aide rushed in. "Sir, Professor White and Dr. Rodriguez have found something. They say it's important. Some kind of control center for Earth's defense system." The ambassador's eyes widened. "If they found an original control node, then Earth has more than just a passive defense. You may have access to technologies we thought lost forever." As night fell over the planet, humanity stood at the threshold of a new era. The draconian threat was contained, but the discovery of Earth's true nature opened questions nobody had ever imagined asking. Somewhere in the between, an entire alien armada watched, trapped in a dimensional prison they never saw coming. And beneath an ancient cave in Chile, Professor White and Dr. Rodriguez worked to unlock secrets buried for thousands of years. The draconian armada vanished on Earth, and the galaxy can't explain it. HFY 5. Galactic implications. Month after the draconian invasion attempt, Agent Julia Morris stood on the deck of the newly commissioned spacecraft Earth Envoy. As Earth's first official interstellar diplomat, she felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. "Nervous?" Admiral Hayes asked, joining her at the viewport. "A little," she admitted. 2 months ago I was working on international treaties. Now I'm about to meet representatives from 20 alien civilizations." The admiral smiled. "You were chosen for a reason. Your background in conflict resolution is exactly what we need right now." Earth had become the center of galactic attention. After word spread about the defeat of the Draconian Armada, ships from various alien civilizations arrived at the edge of the solar system. Unlike the Draconians, they kept their distance and sent polite requests for communication. On the bridge, Dr. Alan Wright worked with his team to prepare translation systems. Their work with Ambassador Jen had given them a head start on understanding galactic standard languages. "The universal translator is online," he reported. "We should be able to understand any of the species we're meeting today." Earth's discovery of the ancient control system had accelerated humanity's technological development. Engineer Peter Lewis had spent weeks studying the alien devices found in the Chilean cave. "The dimensional stabilizers are working perfectly," he told Admiral Hayes, pointing to green indicators on his tablet. Our ship should be able to navigate safely without triggering Earth's defense system. As Earth Envoy approached the meeting point beyond the moon's orbit, they saw the other alien ships for the first time. Some were massive, dwarfing Earth's vessel. Others were small and sleek. All maintained a respectful distance from each other. Opening communications, Dr. Wright announced. The main screen lit up with the face of a blue-skinned being. "Greetings, Earth representatives," the alien said. "I am High Counselor Mevtar of the Galactic Council. Welcome to your first interstellar diplomatic summit." The meeting took place on a neutral station provided by the Council. As Agent Morris and Admiral Hayes stepped aboard, they could see aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some looked almost human. Others were completely different. Crystalline beings, floating gas clouds contained in special suits, and creatures that seemed to shift form as they moved. "Most species here have known about Earth for centuries," Ambassador Jen explained as they walked. "Your world has been considered forbidden territory, protected by forces no one fully understood." "Until now," Admiral Hayes said. "Yes. The Draconians' defeat has changed everything. Many civilizations fear what might happen if humans learn to control the dimensional technology your planet possesses." Agent Morris frowned. "We have no aggressive intentions. We're just trying to understand our own world." "I know that," Jen replied. "But not everyone here trusts a species that defeated the Draconian Empire without firing a shot." The first session of the summit was tense. Representatives from older civilizations questioned Earth's readiness for galactic politics. Some suggested placing restrictions on human access to space. Agent Morris listened patiently, then stood to address the gathering. "Earth did not ask to be a Nexus world," she said clearly. "We did not build the defense system that defeated the Draconians. For most of our history, we didn't even know it existed. But now that we do, we seek to understand it. Not to threaten others, but to protect ourselves and perhaps help maintain peace." Her words seemed to ease some tensions, but others remained skeptical. During a break, a small reptilian being approached Admiral Hayes. "My people were once slaves of the Draconians," it said quietly. "We thank you for what your world has done." The Admiral soon learned that many species had suffered under Draconian rule. Earth's accidental defeat of the Empire had created a power vacuum that weaker worlds were rushing to fill. Back on Earth, Engineer Lewis made a breakthrough with the ancient technology. He called Secretary Clark immediately. "Sir, we've managed to activate a viewing system," he reported excitedly. "It allows us to see into the between dimension." "You can see the trapped Draconians?" Clark asked. "Yes, sir. They're still there, still intact. They can see our world, but they can't interact with it. It's like they're watching through glass." The secretary frowned. "Is there any chance they could escape?" "Not without help from our side. The ancient system is designed to be one way." At the summit, Agent Morris learned more about Earth's unique position in the galaxy. A historian from an ancient civilization shared knowledge that had been kept secret for millennia. "The builders of your world's defense system were called the Preservers," the historian explained. "They seeded many worlds with life, including yours, but Earth was special, designed as their final refuge during the dimensional wars." "What happened to them?" Morris asked. "We don't know. They vanished from the galaxy about 12,000 years ago. Many believe they either transcended to another state of existence or retreated fully into a protected dimension." As the summit progressed, Earth's representatives negotiated their first interstellar treaties. Admiral Hayes focused on security agreements while Agent Morris worked on cultural and scientific exchanges. On the final day, the High Counselor addressed the gathering. "The addition of Earth to our galactic community marks a new era. The defeat of the Draconian Empire has created both opportunities and challenges. Let us move forward together with caution and hope." As Earth Envoy prepared for the journey home, they received an emergency call from Peter Lewis. "Admiral, we've detected something unusual in the between dimension," he reported. "One of the trapped Draconian ships appears to be changing." "Changing? How?" Hayes asked. It's adapting to the dimensional frequency. Given enough time, they might find a way back. The news cast a shadow over their diplomatic success. If the Draconians could escape their dimensional prison, they would undoubtedly seek revenge. When they returned to Earth, Admiral Hayes met with world leaders to share what they had learned. The good news is, we've established peaceful relations with most major galactic powers, he reported. The bad news is we may not have seen the last of the Draconians. Secretary Clark looked troubled. How long do we have? Engineer Lewis estimates years, maybe decades. But they're working on accessing more of the preserver technology. If we can fully understand it, we might be able to strengthen the barriers. As the meeting ended, a scientist rushed in with breaking news. Sir, we've detected an object entering Earth's atmosphere. It's small, possibly an escape pod, and it's not vanishing like the other Draconian ships. All eyes turned to the monitor as the pod's trajectory was plotted. It would land in the Pacific Ocean within the hour. Send recovery teams immediately, Admiral Hayes ordered. Whatever or whoever is in that pod could be the key to understanding everything. Agent Morris looked out the window at the night sky, wondering what new chapter was about to begin. Earth had defeated a galactic empire, discovered its hidden past, and taken its first steps into a larger universe. Whatever came next, humanity would face it together, protected by their unique world and armed with knowledge that was ancient even before their species existed. As recovery ships raced toward the splashdown site, sensors detected life signs inside the pod. Something had found a way through Earth's defenses, and it was still alive.